can the idea of meritocracy be practically realized?
One thing is absolutely certain, that the days of the politicians are over. They have done their job too well. Of being destructive, violent, they have come to a point where humanity has to decide either to die remaining with the politicians, commit a global suicide, or throw out the politicians and save humanity, civilization, culture, life. Nothing is favorable to the politician. And each day passes, his death comes closer. He himself is responsible. He improved the weapons which can bring death to the whole world to such a point that there is no way going back. Either an ultimate war, which means death to all and everything, or a total change in the whole structure of human society. I am calling that change meritocracy. One thing, we have to drop the idea that every man, just because he is 21, is capable of choosing who is the right person to decide the fate of nations. Age cannot be the decisive factor. We have to change the decisive factor that is changing the very foundation. My suggestion is that only a person who is at least matriculate should be able to vote. His age does not matter. And as I will explain you the whole thing, it will become easier. For the local government, matriculation will be the qualification for the voters, and graduation from university, at least a bachelor's degree, should be a necessary qualification for anybody running for the election, for the candidates. Master's degree should be a minimum qualification for the one who is running for the mayor. For the state elections, graduation, bachelor's degrees should be the minimum qualification for the voters. MA, master's degrees in science, arts, commerce should be the necessary degrees for the candidates. For the ministers, MA first class should be the necessary qualification, minimum. More will be, of course, more appreciated. And anybody trying to become a minister will have to know something about the subject. His qualifications should be corresponding to the subject matter that he is going to deal in his ministership. For example, I have known in India, in the central government, a health minister who knows nothing about health, who has not even the qualification of a compounder. What to say about a doctor? Who does not know even what is first aid? And he is the health minister. Now what he is going to do? I have seen education ministers who have never been to the universities. Before they became education ministers, they have never seen even the university campus. Yes, after becoming education minister, they start giving convocation addresses to the universities. Universities start giving them degrees honorary degrees because actually they are not even matriculate. Few of them can only sign their signature, and few of them even cannot do that. They have to make their signature by a mark of the thumb on the paper. It happened one man has recently become education minister in Madhya Pradesh. Utterly uneducated, but rich, clever, cunning. And he was inaugurating the state yearly games, competitions. It goes on for at least 1 month. The whole state, all the colleges, the schools, universities participate. A small miniature Olympic. And this was his first address after becoming the minister. He said there are 3 kinds of games: football, volleyball, and Olympics. He had no idea even that Olympics is not a game. And I don't think he had any idea what is a football and what is a volleyball. So if somebody is going to be an education minister, then his qualifications should make him capable of being an education minister. He should have at least a master's degree in education, first class. Lesser than first class, nobody can be a minister on the state level. Yes, if he has better degrees, Doctor of Education, PhD in education, that is good. That will make him more qualified. The Attorney General should have at least a degree of doctorate in laws, an LLD, not less than that, because he is going to defend the law of the state, the rights of the citizens. He should have the best degree possible, so he knows everything about it. The governor should have the best of all the degrees possible for him. MA first class, PhD, and his subject for PhD should be on political science, and at least one honorary degree of D.Litt or LLD. For the federal government, master's degree will be the voter's minimum qualification. A first class master's degree and PhD should be the minimum for the candidates running for election. And the ministers all should have the highest degrees in their subjects for which they are going to be ministers. If it is education, then the highest degrees available in the country. If it is going to be health, then highest degrees available in the country. The president should have at least 2 PhDs and 1 honorary D.Litt or LLD, and the same for the vice president, because he can become president any day. This way, the mobocracy is destroyed. Then just because you are 21, you are not capable of choosing the government. Choosing the government should be a very skillful, intelligent job. Just by being 21, you may be able to reproduce children. It needs no skill. Even animals are doing perfectly well. It needs no education. Biology sends you well prepared. But to choose the government, to choose people who are going to have all the powers over you and all, and are going to decide the destiny of the country and the world, it is simply idiotic the way we have been choosing them. Just the other day, I got this information, and I congratulate Oxford University for it. Perhaps this may be the only congratulation they will receive. In England, as in every country, there are conventions. Every Prime Minister in England conventionally gets an honorary doctorate from Oxford. This time, this is unprecedented in the whole history of England. Oxford University has decided not to give the degree to Margaret Thatcher. I congratulate them because this is how every university in the whole world should act. Of course, their reason is not very great why they have stopped, but that is irrelevant. At least they have shown courage enough. And Margaret Thatcher will be also a historical person, because no Prime Minister of England has gone without an honorary doctorate from Oxford. The reason they had to decide was that she has cut the budget for Oxford University, particularly for research in literature. The reason is not very great, but still it is significant. A woman who thinks that literature does not deserve any research certainly does not deserve any doctorate from the university. I would like all the universities of the world to think again. Just don't go on conventionally honoring stupid, idiotic politicians with doctorates. This way you are simply insulting yourself. This way you are degrading the status of education. On the contrary, I would like all the universities, first of one state, calling a convention of all the vice chancellors, eminent professors, and eminent intelligentsia who may not be part of the university. Painters, artists, poets, dancers, actors, musicians, all kinds of people who have attained to certain eminence and have shown their caliber, excluding politicians completely. All the Nobel Prize winners, excluding the politicians again. Because within these few years, few politicians have managed to get Nobel Prizes, which has degraded the value of Nobel Prize. It has not added any value to the politician. He remains still in the gutter, and he will remain in the gutter because that's where he belongs. He cannot live out of the gutter. He will die. And if you give him a Nobel Prize, he will drag the Nobel Prize also in the gutter. Of course, wherever he lives, he is going to take the Nobel Prize, the doctorate, and all kinds of degrees with him. Every state should call a convention of all intelligentsia who are part of the universities or not part of the universities, writers, novelists, all dimensions of talents, and they should choose a delegation for the national convention. So, from all the states, a national convention meets and goes into details how meritocracy can work. And from national candidates, an international convention from all the universities of the world and intelligentsia. This should be the first of its kind, because never the whole intelligentsia of the world has come together to decide the fate of humanity. And they should write the first constitution of the world. It will not be American, it will not be Indian, it will not be Chinese. It is going to be simply constitution of the whole humanity. There is no need of different kind of laws. There is no need. All human beings need the same kind of laws, and a world constitution will be a declaration that nations are no more significant. They can exist as functional units, but they are no more independent powers. And if the whole intelligentsia of the world is behind this convention, it is not very difficult to convince the generals of the world that you move away from the politicians. And what power politicians have? All the powers that they have, we have given to them. We can take it back. It is not their power. It is our power. Just we have to find a way how to take it back, because giving it very easy, taking it is a little difficult. They will not be so simple, innocent, when you take the power back, as they were when they were asking it from you. But it is our power. And they will go on having it if the mob remains there to give it to them. The mob can be convinced about anything. It is the function of the intelligentsia. I would like to say that now, if anything happens to humanity, the whole condemnation will go on the intelligentsia. What you were doing, if those idiots were ready to kill the humanity, then what you were doing? You could not even manage those idiots. You were simply went on grumbling, grumpy, but you did nothing else. And the time is running short. Once we decide that the voting power is not the birthright of every human being, but is the right which you have to earn. You have to see the distinction. It is not the birthright. It is a right that you have to earn by your intelligence. Everybody is given the opportunity to earn it. Equal opportunity for all to earn, but it is nothing birth given. You have to prove it. Once we change the power from the mob into the hands of the few intelligent people, and the people who know what they are doing. If a man who has devoted his whole life thinking about education, its problems, has done all that was possible to do to find out every detail, every fundamental of education, all the possible philosophies of education. If he becomes an education minister, there is a possibility that he will do something. And at the same time, as I want the shift completely from the mob to the chosen few, I am not against the people. In fact, the people are against themselves in the hands of these politicians. I am all for the people, and what I am saying can be said exactly what has been said for democracy. For the people, by the people, of the people. Just by the people I will have to change. This intelligentsia will be for the people, of the people. It will be serving the masses. It is so simple a thing. You don't elect a doctor. Just anybody can stand. It is a birthright. And people can vote. Two persons are fighting to be the doctor or to be the surgeon. What is wrong in it? The people choose for themselves. For the people, by the people, of the people, they choose one person, a surgeon. Because he speaks better, he looks good on the television. He gives great promises. But he is not even a butcher, what you are. And he is going to become a surgeon. He is not even a butcher. Even a butcher would have been better. At least he would have known how to cut and finish. This man, but you don't choose a surgeon by election. How can you choose a president by election? How can you choose a governor by election? You are giving so much power to power-hungry people. With your own hands, you are telling them to hang you. This is not democracy. In the name of democracy, these people have been exploiting the masses. Just to make a distinction, I am calling my system meritocracy. But for what? The merit is to serve and share. And once you have decided to shift the power from the politicians to the intelligentsia, everything is possible. Everything becomes simple. Then I want every university to have 2 compulsory institutions in every university. Because that is the way I would like the people who are going to be powerful to be prepared. Right now, up to now, for thousands of years, you have never prepared anybody. If somebody is going to be a boxer, you just don't push him into the ground and say, start. He has to learn. If somebody is going to be a swordsman, for years it will take for him. Otherwise, he won't know how to hold the sword, at least. Using it and fighting with it is impossible. First, he will have to find how to take it out from its sheath, how to hold it. It needs training. You don't just give a guitar to somebody who has never seen the instrument before and you want him to be an Yehudi Menuhin or a Ravi Shankar. No, this is your fault. These people who are in power, have you trained them? Have anybody ever thought that the people who will be holding so much power need some certain qualities so that they don't misuse power? It is not their fault. So I propose 2 institutes to every university. 1 institute for deprogramming. Anybody who gets the certificate of graduation will have first to get a clearance certificate from the programming institute, deprogramming institute, which means it will deprogram you as a Christian, as a Hindu, as a Mohammedan, as a Jew. Because these have been our troubles. And 4 years is enough time. Deprogram does not take that long. Just few hours a month for 4 years and you will be deprogrammed. And you will not get any certificate from the educational institute unless you are cleared by the deprogramming institute that this man is now simply a human being. He is no more a Christian, no more a Hindu, no more a Mohammedan, no more a Jew. The second institute will be an institute for meditation. Because just deprogramming is not enough. Deprogramming takes rubbish from you, but you are left empty. And it is difficult to be empty. You will start gathering rubbish again. You cannot manage yourself how to live joyfully with your emptiness. That's the whole art of meditation. So on the one hand, the Deprogramming Institute cleanses you, empties you, makes you a vacuum. And the Meditation Institute goes on helping you to enjoy your nothingness, your emptiness, your inner vacuum, its cleanliness, its freshness. And as you start enjoying it, you start feeling that it is not empty at all. It is full of joy. It looked empty first because you were accustomed of having so much rubbish in it, and that rubbish has been removed. So you say, it looks empty. It is just like a room full of furniture. You have always seen it full of furniture, then one day you come and all the furniture is removed and you see the room looks empty. The room is not empty. The room is simply clean. The room is roomy for the first time. It was cluttered before, burdened, full of rubbish. Now it is pure space. You have to learn meditation to enjoy your emptiness. And that is one of the greatest day in life, when one person starts enjoying emptiness, aloneness, nothingness. Then nobody can reprogram you. Nobody in the whole world. Even if Jesus comes and talks to you that blessed you are, just come follow me and I will take you to God. You will say, you go to hell with your God. And where I am, here is paradise. Wherever I am, here is paradise. You go. You follow yourself and carry your cross also. And if nobody crucifies you, you crucify yourself. Because without crucifixion, you will not be the real Messiah. It is what actually Buddha says to his disciples, that if I come in the way, immediately cut my head. I should not clutter your inner cleanliness. I should not be there. Nobody should be there. No God. You alone are enough. More than enough. It is so overflowing. So, a second institute in every university, which will be giving you a simple meditation. There is no need for any complexity. Universities, intelligentsia tend to be complex, tend to make things complex. A simple method of just watching your breath is enough. But every day, 1 hour, you have to go to the institute. Unless the meditation institute gives you its degree, the university is not going to give you its degree. The university's degree will come only when a clearance certificate from Deprogramming Institute and a graduation certificate from the Meditation University. It will depend on you. You can graduate in 1 year, you can graduate in 2 years, you can graduate in 3 years, 4 years. But 4 years is too much. Any imbecile, if just sits 1 hour every day doing nothing for 4 years, is bound to find what Buddha or Lao Tzu have found. What I have found, it is not a question of intelligence, talent, genius. It is only a question of patience. So from the University Meditation Institute, you get a degree, Bachelor of Meditation. Then you get Bachelor of Arts or Commerce or Science, not before it. And the same way it continues. You get Master's degree in Meditation, MM. And again you will be needed 2 years to continue with the Deprogramming Institute. Because you can't be left so easily alone. People are in some strange way collectors of all kinds of things. Few people collect antiques. Few people collect stamps, postal stamps. I was staying in a home in Madras, and the old man, he must have been 65, my host, he said, "Would you like to see my stamp collection?" I said, "Your stamp collection?" He said, "Yes, from my very childhood." But you will be surprised. I have such rare stamps. He had a full room of all kinds of stamps. I said, "That's all you have been doing your whole life?" He said, "You say that's all? This is the best collection in the whole country." I said, it may be the best collection, but you wasted your life collecting all this rubbish, these used stamps, and his whole life he had devoted. And he had great certificates appreciating from governors, from chief ministers, from prime minister, from the president. They all had come to see. Whoever was going to come to Madras of any importance was bound to go to see his collection. That was the best in India. I said, the collection is okay. Leave the collection alone. I am worried about you. He said, what is wrong with me? I am perfectly okay. I said, you are not okay, because if you were an 8-year-old child, it was okay, this collection. But you are 65. And you are still collecting. He said, still I am collecting. I am going to collect as much as I can. I said, you go on collecting. Death will be coming soon. This collection will remain here. And you will be gone without ever lived. Because the whole time was wasted in collecting stamps. People are collectors. I think there is some psychological necessity. Because they feel meaningless. Because they feel that they are not of any worth. They try to fill this gap by collecting something. By collecting knowledge, by collecting any kind of thing. They want somehow to feel that they are not empty and they have something valuable. They are worthy. They have not wasted their life. So if you are going to continue to do your master's degree, then 2 years you again continue with the Institute of Deprogramming. Because there is no end to cleaning you. Every day the dust collects. It is not a question of your collecting it. It is just like a mirror. Every morning you have to clean it. Dust goes on collecting on it. The mind is almost like a mirror, a reflector. Memories collect, experiences collect. This is the dust that is happening 24 hours. So unless you go on cleaning it continuously, soon you will be covered by dust again. So it is good experience. For 2 years again you are being deprogrammed. And 2 years again you are meditating. These processes go simultaneously, deprogramming and meditation. One goes on cleaning you, emptying you. The other goes on filling you. Not with something, but some quality. Blissfulness, lovingness, compassion, tremendous feeling of worth for no reason at all. Just that you are living, breathing, is enough. That existence thinks you worthy of living. That existence thinks you worthy of being here. You are indispensable to existence. This indispensability is discovered only through meditation. There is no other way. And unless you discover this indispensability to existence, you are going to do something stupid to feel worthy. But when existence overwhelms you, showers all its blessings on you, then the urge to collect garbage simply disappears. Then you live each moment and you die each moment. That is the time when meditation has come to its perfection. Living each moment, dying each moment. Dying to the memory that you have lived. Dying to the past movement that is just passing. It can leave its trace, its linings, its signatures, its memory. No, die to all that. So you are again fresh, ready to mirror existence with a clear reflection. So if one continues to study in university, he continues to go to the meditation institute every day 1 hour. And before he gets his MA, he gets his MM. That is Master of Meditation. He can get it in 1 year, he can get it in 2 years. He may take longer time if he is not meditating, because there is not going to be any verbal examination. It is going to depend on the master. If he feels watching you, coming every day, sitting, going, for 2 years he watches you, inquires about you, how you are feeling, how things are going, never sees any tension on you, never feels that you are in a hurry, anguish, worry, that you are always relaxed, at ease, at home, that you don't feel nervous about anything, that you are not concerned about past and not concerned about future. Just all these things he goes on watching. And if he feels, and there is no question of misjudging, if he is a meditator, he is not going to misjudge anybody. That is impossible. He will know for sure that you have the taste of it, and he will give you the certificate. These are clearance certificates for your MA degree, and I want these to continue. If you are going to do PhD, 3 years deprogramming, 3 years meditation, those are compulsory to the very end. So when you come out of the university, you are not only an intelligent person, well informed, you are also a meditator, relaxed, silent, peaceful, observant, watchful, intuitive. And you are no more a Christian, no more a Hindu, no more an American, no more a Russian. All that bullshit has been completely burnt. Nothing is left of it. This is the only way to replace the politicians by intelligentsia. But as intelligentsia is now, it won't be of much help, because they are all as much in power politics as the politicians. That's why I make these two conditions necessary. If you get a PhD, simultaneously you will be getting a DPhil M, a master's degree of doctorate. And if the Meditation Institute feels that somebody has come to a point where he should be honored, then they can give a DLit M. So while you are being educated, you are being in a very silent and subtle way being prepared to be in power in such a way that power cannot corrupt you, that you cannot misuse it. So meritocracy is a whole program of transforming the structure of society, the structure of government, the structure of education. And it looks utopian. Who is going to do it? How it is going to happen? Hence the question, how we are going to make it a reality. It is utopian, but the situation is such that within 20 years politicians will bring you to the brink of death. Then you will have to choose. And at that time, when you have to choose between death and meditation, I think you will choose meditation. You are not going to choose death. If at that time you have to choose between death and deprogramming, you will choose deprogramming. Let the Christian die, but I can live. Let the Jew die, I can live. And who bothers when it is a question of you or the Jew? If you can choose only one, either you or Jew, I don't think you are going to choose the Jew. Even Moses would not have done that. I trust him at least that much intelligent. And politicians have brought that great challenge to the whole humanity. In a way, we should be thankful to these fools. They have dragged the whole humanity to the point where humanity has to decide that now either we can live or these politicians can remain in power. Both are not possible. My professor Dr. S.K. Saxena used to have a car, a very ancient model. It used to remain standing in his porch. I asked him, this car I have been seeing standing there, either sell it and get rid of it, at least we will have some space in the porch. In the morning we can have tea, we can sit there, play cards or do something, but this stupid car, he said, never speak against my car. I have been keeping it for almost 12 years in the hope that one day I will be able to manage both the car and the driver. The problem is, he was a spendthrift. He was not a miser. He was getting a good salary. He could manage a driver and a car both, but he was always in debt, asking money from his students. After the 15th day of the month, he was finished. So he said, the problem is, either I can have the car or I can have the driver. So finally I said, just having a driver will look more foolish. The driver will be sitting in the porch the whole day, and people will ask, why you are keeping this driver if you don't have the car? So finally I thought having a car is a better idea. You are the only person who go on poking me about the car, otherwise nobody bothers. They say, Professor, you have a car? I say, yes, I have a car. Nobody bothers that car never moves. But nobody is interested in its movement. Only I am interested, he said. And I manage. All the neighbors have cars, so anybody can pick me up going to the university, and they all know that I don't have a driver. I don't know even whether now having a driver is going to help, because 12 years this car has been just standing there. No idea in what condition it is. So in this life at least, he said, I have lost hope. Next life, I will manage both from the very beginning, otherwise I will not get into the trouble. Having one is troublesome. Every day at least he had to clean it himself, because it used to collect dust. And just sitting in the porch, a dirty thing. So he used to clean it. I said, you do it. I'm not going to help, because I used to stay with him many times. I'm not going to help at all. Because according to your Hindu philosophy, everybody is karma. He has to suffer for it. I have no involvement with the guy, and you should not look with expectant eyes at me. That it is mannerly for a student that the old professor is cleaning his car. You should help. You should not look like each according to his karma. The politicians are bringing you to the point. They have brought already. So I said that now the universities have to become more bold, courageous, united, and they have to gather all the intelligentsia around them, and which is not difficult, because all over the world I have seen every kind of intelligent person is against these political fools, but he cannot do anything alone. What he can do? And he does not see that there is any alternative. I wonder why you can't see. You have so many universities of great prestige. For example, if Oxford can gather courage to refuse that the university is not going to give Thatcher an honorary doctorate, why not a university like Oxford, which is prestigious, old enough, respected around the world, should start calling these conventions? Why not Oxford should become the center of a new power, the power of intelligentsia? And it is not so difficult as it looks. One thing I forgot. As I said, exclude the politicians. I wanted to include one thing more. Exclude the priests, the popes, because the religious establishment has always been supportive to the political establishment. They are in deep conspiracy together. They support each other. They support in such absurd conditions also that one cannot make any sense out of it. Adolf Hitler is being blessed by the Christian high priest in Germany for victory. He is praying for Adolf Hitler to be victorious. And he is very happy because Adolf Hitler is finishing with the Jews. Perhaps he has done greater service to the Christians than anybody else. Millions of Jews he finished. So the Christian priest may be feeling he is doing the right thing by blessing him. The revenge with the Jews has to be taken. But he forgets completely that Churchill is being blessed in England by the Christian Archbishop for victory. That in America, the American president is being blessed. It's strange. And they are all praying to one God. Now God must be in a difficulty. Whom to hear? But he, being an old Jew, it seems, heard Churchill, who was not a religious man at all. Neither he looks religious. Nor he looks intelligent. If he was to be sent to the right place, he must have been in a circus or in a carnival somewhere selling hot watchdogs. Kind of man. He does not look like an intelligent person. So all these bishops and popes have to be excluded. They have nothing to do with it. And we have to exclude them because we are going to deprogram. And the deprogramming is one of the most significant things to be done. Otherwise, the world cannot be saved. These people, priests, popes, Shankaracharyas, Imam, they have been doing ugliest things in the world. But because of the facade of religion, you let them go free. If anybody else was doing it, he would have been caught immediately. The previous Pope, Pope Paul VI, before this Polak came upon the stage, this Pope Paul VI was a cardinal in Milan before he became Pope. And the whole world knew that he was a homosexual. And it was such a known fact, particularly in Italy and more particularly in Milan, that there was no question about it. He had a boyfriend, a male ballet dancer. And when he became the Pope in Italy, just as a joke, the ballet dancer also became famous. His name in Italy, they changed. They made him a feminine pope. His name they gave Popessa Paoletta. This is the first woman, Popessa Paoletta. Italian language seems to be groovy. I would have learnt it, but Italians look greasy. I don't want to do anything with it. But not a single newspaper around the world published the fact. It's strange. The whole country knows, all cardinals, all bishops, everybody knows. Still, it is not published anywhere. Because Pope is a political power too. Your paper can be crushed. You can be destroyed. They go on writing things against me which are absolutely absurd lies. Because one thing they are certain, that no politician can be in support with me. No power is going to support me. I am against all those who are powerful. Naturally, anybody can write anything against me. The courts, the political powers, the governments, they are all going to be already against me. They are prejudiced beforehand. But you cannot write against Pope that he is having. This guy is a gay guy. And even after becoming Pope, he was moving with that boyfriend. Popessa Paoletta was always... The rumor is all over the capital. One of the most prominent politician is a homosexual. That is old news. But just 2 days before, it has been discovered that that man is not only a homosexual, he has AIDS. And now he is going to run for the president in the next election. That's he is trying for. Right now he is a senator, and one of the most powerful senators. And he is preparing to run for presidentship. But all newspapers are silent. What kind of news media exists? It seems it is only against people whom you can harm, but they cannot harm you. For example, I cannot harm anybody. So they can write anything against me. Right or wrong is not the question. You know perfectly well, before 7,000 people, a knife was thrown at me. 20 policemen and 4 police officers were present, eyewitnesses. The man was caught red-handed, and yet he was released. 7,000 witnesses don't prove anything. Even police officers cannot prove anything, because the government wants him to be freed. The magistrate knows if he does not listen, then his promotion is stopped. And he is not concerned with me or my life, he is concerned with his promotion. So to get the promotion, he simply releases the person. No punishment but a person who is having AIDS may become the president of America. And everybody will keep silent about it. Nobody is going to open his mouth, because anybody who opens his mouth will be in danger against the powers. But I don't have anything to lose. So whatsoever I want to say, I say it. And I know that man cannot challenge me, because if he challenges me, then he has to come to the hospital and prove that he has not. Pope Paul VI, of course, is dead, so he cannot do anything against me. I don't believe in ghosts. But just to think that if Pope Paul VI, who was thought to be a very wise man, perhaps one of the wisest Pope in the whole history, if he could do such stupid things, what about the Polak Pope? You can just imagine what can he do. He cannot be defeated by the Pope Paul VI. He will do something to defeat that fellow, and he must be doing. But these things you come to know when the person is dead. Now Pope Paul VI's story is known to everybody, because dead people cannot influence anybody, cannot take revenge, cannot harm you. So the politicians and the priests have to be avoided. The politicians are going to say that what I am saying is anti-democratic. It is not. Because nowhere democracy exists. I love the statement of H.G. Wells. Somebody asked him, "What do you think about democracy?" He said, "It is a good idea." The man said, "Good idea?" He said, "Yes, it has yet to happen." It has not happened yet. In the name of democracy, something else is going on. while I was in India, I used to think perhaps in America something of democracy is happening. But coming to America has been a tremendous disappointment. There is no democracy anywhere, neither in America, nor in Soviet Union, nor anywhere else. It is only a word that politicians have been exploiting. So first, it does not exist, so there is no problem that I am against anti-democracy. There is no democracy, so how I can be anti-democracy? What I am proposing is the right way to do. Change the whole structure that one day meritocracy merges into democracy, because sooner or later everybody can be educated. I am not preventing anybody. I am simply saying that right now give the power of governing only to those who are entitled and prepared for it. Meanwhile, go on preparing other people. We may not be here, that does not matter. But within 3-4 generations, everybody can pass through the process of deprogramming, meditation, and education. Then all people are entitled, because by 21, most of you are already matriculate. They can participate in the local examination, local election. Few of them are graduates. They can participate in the state election. And by 24, most of you are postgraduates. You can participate in all the elections. And before 30, you can be able to stand for the presidency of the country. I am not asking much, just a 10 years preparation. And if the whole government is meditative, deprogrammed, unprejudiced, just visualize, then bureaucracy disappears, hierarchy disappears. Then things that take years can be finished within seconds. I know of one case, one of my friends, he was very old man, he just died 2 years before. He was a very famous historian, Pandit Sundarlal. And he was an old man. Sometime in 1920, he wrote a book of history in which he disagreed with British historians. And he was perfectly right, because what British historians was presenting was not factual, it was one-sided. Naturally, they were the victors. The defeated ones have lost even their voice. The victors can write anything. So if the defeated were going through a revolution, the victors will not call it revolution, they call it mutiny. If the revolutionaries become victorious, then even if it was a mutiny, it becomes revolution. It depends who is going to write the history. The British historians wrote about the leaders of Indian Revolution as if they were criminals. And of course, in their eyes, they were criminals. They were trying to throw away the government, creating disorder, chaos. Naturally, these people are criminals. But to the Indians, those people were their heroes, not criminals. They were fighting for their freedom. They sacrificed their life for the freedom struggle. So Sundarlal wrote, he was the first historian to write from the side of the Indians. Of course, his book was immediately banned, and a case is started against him, which continued up to 62 years. The case continued for 62 years. Can you imagine? If a case needs 62 years to decide, my God, then who is going to be punished? All those people are gone. It was tried by at least 8 High Court judges. All died. At least 12 advocates fought for and against. All died. The publisher of the book, the printer of the book, and the writer of the book, and the distributor of the book, on all 4 was the case. 3 of them died, only the writer continued to live. And because of him, the case continued, because there was no way. Even the government who had started the case died. Country became free. The ban from the book was removed, but the case continued. I asked Sundarlal, Panditji, this is a miracle. You have killed everybody. 12 advocates, 8 magistrates, 2 governments. And when this case is going to be finished? He said, until I die, this case is not going to be finished, because there are legal problems. They cannot just finish it. They cannot just close the file. They have to come to a certain conclusion. Now it has becoming every day more and more complicated. All the magistrates that were trying the case before India became independent, they have their notes and their opinions. They are against Sundarlal. They all want him to be imprisoned for life. After the government changed, India became free. Now the magistrates are all for Sundarlal, that he has done a great service. He should be honored. But what to do with the opinions of their predecessors? It does not matter to which government they belong. It is the same court and the same law. And the complexities were such that he said, those judges have said that unless you die, we cannot close the file. The case will continue. We are not going to punish you. We cannot punish you. Even they could not punish you. They could not punish because all their witnesses died. 3 major criminals died. Only one man remained. And that man was very intelligent man. He fought continuously that whatsoever he is written is right unless you prove it wrong. And you cannot just prove by your British writers, because what they do know, they were not present here. They don't know the Indian situation. They remained in England and they were writing history in England about India. They never came to India, and their histories are being taught in the universities. And I have been here, I have seen with my eyes what has happened, and I am an eyewitness, and you are telling me that I am wrong. You call your historians, they have to prove on what grounds they have got their ideas. They were collecting simply from British newspapers. Naturally, all that they were collecting was favorable to the British government. He was collecting raw material from Indian masses. What has happened? He was far more truer, and it was felt by all the judges that he has a point there, that he was an eyewitness here. So although they were feeling that he has a point there, but they had to protect the government. They are servants of the government. They are here to serve the British Empire. In schools before 1947, students had to pray for the Queen. God save the Queen, or God save the King. My principal was a certain Badri Prasad Gupta. The day I entered the school, my father told me that don't create trouble about this God save the Queen. Let him save. You don't create trouble on this point. I said, I have no problem. You don't be worried. He said, promise that you won't create any trouble about the Queen? I said, promise. And I never created any trouble with the Queen. I asked him, where is God? I cannot pray to whom? I have no problem about the Queen. Just show me the God so I can pray. Badri Prasad Gupta said, up to now, there have been some students creating problem because they come from revolutionary families. Their question was that we cannot pray for Queen. Why we should pray for somebody who is imposing slavery on us? This I have heard, but this is a new problem. I said, I have no problem with Queen. I will pray. You first show me the God. If you cannot show me the God, whom do you want me to pray? To you, Badri Prasad Gupta, save the Queen? He said, no, don't say that. I am a government servant and you are making me also involved in it. It may become a trouble. I said, then I cannot pray. When I came home, my father was waiting. He said, no trouble. I said, trouble was bound to be there, but I kept your promise. He said, how you managed? I said, I changed the subject. Instead of bothering about the Queen, I said, why bother about the Queen? Why not hit God himself so there is no question of prayer? And I told him that I can pray you, Badri Prasad Gupta. And he was so afraid, he said, don't mention my name, because if some British officer comes to know that I am teaching students to pray Badri Prasad Gupta, save the Queen, they will hang me. My service is gone. And how I am going to answer those people that you just don't mention and don't say it to anybody else, because these children are just nuisance. They may start shouting in the streets, Badri Prasad Gupta, save the Queen. But I will be killed. The Queen may be saved, but I am gone. I said, no, I will not create any trouble. Just you have not to ask me again. I will remain silent. If God wants to save, let him save. If he does not want to save, that is his business and his problem. It is none of my concern. I am absolutely impartial, whether the Queen is saved or not. I have no interest either way. But those British officers, this Badri Prasad Gupta, he was an Indian, but being a principal of an English high school was enough to be afraid. Every officer was afraid, judges were afraid, Indian officers were afraid, because the power. So politicians priests both have to be dropped out of their long standing establishment, and a totally new kind of management has to be developed. It is a difficult job, arduous, but not impossible, particularly in such a situation when death is the only alternative.
What do you say about meditation according to the 3 states of consciousness?
Meditation I have explained to you, so it won't be difficult. Just a little bit new perspective. Concentration is concerned with the instinctive level. Hence, even animals are capable of concentration. When an animal is hunting a game, he is utterly concentrated. He is unmoving, not making even a little stir. And if you see his eyes, they are fixed, unblinking. In fact, it is one of the findings of great hunters that once in a while it has happened that a hunter has come across a lion barehanded, and there was no way to escape, and the lion is coming closer to you with his fixed eyes. And because the hunter was unable to escape, just unconsciously, without knowing that what he is doing, of course he was frozen to death. His eyes also became unblinking, and he was watching every move of the lion. So he was looking into his eyes, and this is how it was discovered that if you look into the eyes of the lion just for a minute or two, the lion becomes hypnotized. He forgets to kill you. He forgets everything. He falls into a coma. Gurdjieff remembers in his memoirs that while he was moving with the nomads near Caucasus, he found they all hypnotized their animals, because nomads are moving people, few days here, few days there. They don't stay in one place. they have a totally different culture. They don't think much of you who live in cities and in houses. They think you are dead, finished. You have made your graves yourself. What life is if you are not under the sun, under the sky, moving always into the unknown, managing moment to moment, not being worried about tomorrow. They don't believe in your law, they don't believe in your state, they don't believe in anything. They can steal, there is no problem. They can kill, there is no problem. They are a totally different people. And they are not ready. Many governments have been trying to settle them, prohibiting them. But you will be surprised, even in Europe, the nomads are all Indians from Rajputana. In fact, all over the world, the nomads are Indians from Rajputana, one particular state, because they all speak Rajputani. It has changed, taken different forms, but still you can figure it out that they are speaking Rajasthani. In Europe, you call them gypsies, because from Rajputana first they went to Egypt, and remaining in Egypt they moved to Europe. Because this movement, they became gypsies coming from Egypt. Gurdjieff was with these people, and these people have a different kind of wisdom, not bookish, actual experience. And they have been moving around the earth, experiencing so many things that a person who flies from New York to London cannot say that he has toured from New York to London. Flying in an aeroplane is not an experience, but moving on earth, making your way through different societies, different laws, different difficulties, different problems every day is real experience. Gurdjieff said that these people knew certain art of hypnosis. It was not much art. A simple process you can practice on your dog, on your cat, but if they are your pets, it becomes difficult, because they start moving here and there. They will not keep their eyes fixed on you. On wild animals, it is very simple. And these nomads have to pass through wild areas, and that was their practice. Gurdjieff was very young, 9, 10, and he saw them that even if a lion came, all the nomads will stand in front, the man, staring at the lion. Without blinking their eyes. And something happened. The lion simply collapsed, fell as if there is no life. And immediately those gypsies will jump, catch hold of the lion, and by the time he comes back to his senses, he is captured without any weapon, Concentration is instinctive. Everybody can practice it. All that is needed is to pinpoint your consciousness. Contemplation is of the intellect. It is beyond animals and beyond most of human beings. Not absolutely beyond. If they try, they can rise up to it. But contemplation needs your interests wide enough so that you can create a space in the mind to move. You need much information about a single subject so that you can move around the single subject without changing it, and yet moving, keeping into the same area. For example, you are thinking about truth or love or religion. You keep yourself into the same area, but you look it from every possible angle, and you will be surprised that there are always angles which have never been looked. Life is so mysterious. There are always aspects which you may be the first to discover. That's how science functions. The subjects are not new. These are the same subjects, from Archimedes to Albert Einstein. It is not much different. The same subjects they are thinking about, but new aspects go on revealing themselves. And each aspect becomes almost an area in itself. You can watch the progress of science, then you will understand. In Oxford University, on the Department of Physics, the board hanging says, Department of Natural Philosophy. That is strange, because it was 1000 years before that physics was part of natural philosophy. The board is 1000 years old. Although painted again and again, our different boards may have come, but the writing has remained same. Now, philosophy has nothing to do with physics. In Sagar University, where I had my post-graduation, on the Department of Philosophy, the board was Department of Psychology and Philosophy. That too is 100 years old. The university is new, but the founder was an old man. And when he was studying, philosophy and psychology was one subject. Now psychology has a separate individuality. I told to my professors that this is stupid, drop it, but they said it is a historical monument, leave it there. I said, no more psychology is being taught here. And why psychology and philosophy? It used to be. Psychology was part of philosophy. Then they separated. Now, Psychology has separated into different parts. Philosophy was part of philosophy, now physics was part of philosophy, now physics has separated into different departments. You go on contemplating and you find a new area which is vast enough to be a subject unto itself. And as you go into details, you find that there are still branches moving apart. So there is now biophysics, which no philosopher had ever contemplated, that biophysics is possible. Metaphysics was possible, which has become completely finished. There is no department of metaphysics anywhere. It used to be in Aristotle's time, and for a very strange reason, because Aristotle wrote the first history of philosophy. And he wrote all the chapters. One of the chapters is physics. And after the physics chapter comes philosophy. Just because it comes after physics, metaphysics means after physics. Because the chapter was coming after physics, slowly it became known as metaphysics. The chapter that comes after physics. When philosophy came up to its own, metaphysics, the very word simply disappeared. It is not used anymore. Although it seems that it may have a revival, a resurrection, because now physics is coming very closer to philosophy. Becoming more mysterious, finding more areas which cannot be explained by logic, cannot be explained by science. Perhaps they will start calling it metaphysics. It is beyond physics, after physics, higher physics they are calling it now. Contemplation is just the process of thinking, refining your thoughts. And the more you practice this refinement, the finer they become. And it is a joy in itself. It is a far superior joy than anything like food, sex, clothes. It is a finer joy when you come across a new phenomenon which for millions of years people have passed and nobody had detected it, and you are the first to detect it. A tremendous joy arises in you. Contemplation is of the intellect and meditation is of the intuition. Meditation has no subject matter. It is pure subjectivity. It is not thinking about something. It is not thinking at all. But one thing to be remembered, it does not mean falling asleep. That's what happens. If you are not thinking, then the mind says, what are you doing? Go to sleep. mind is at ease with thinking or with sleep. And just between the two is meditation. No thinking, no sleep. Thinking has been dropped and sleep has not been taken up. You are fully awake. Awareness without thoughts. The road of your mind is completely empty of the continuous traffic of thoughts. In that state of no mind is hidden the ultimate secret, the secret of your being and the secret of the whole universe. Because at the point of your being, all the points meet together. Your point is also the center of the whole universe. Further you go into thought, you move away from your center and also from universe. Hence, I was suggesting a very simple method for all universities. Buddha used to call it vipassana. The word is beautiful, simple, meaningful. It means just watching. Pashya means to see. And pashyana means to see very carefully. Vipassana means to see carefully but without thinking. You are just there, sitting silently, doing nothing. In the West, the proverb is that the ideal mind is the devil's workshop. It is not true. The ideal mind, absolutely ideal, is where your real birth happens. The mind full of thoughts is the devil's workshop, because it is continuously giving you ideas, do this, do that. The silent mind, how the silent mind can be devil's workshop? The West never attained to the state of meditation. It remained up to the state of contemplation. Concentration happened, contemplation happened, but meditation remained something unexplored by the West. Perhaps the conditions were not ready for it, ripe for it. Perhaps the West was too much concerned for physical survival. Life was difficult. The climate was cold. Hard work was needed to survive. In the east, the climate was warm. Not much work was needed to survive. One person in a family used to work, and the whole family used to enjoy. There was no need for everybody to work. The land was fertile, the population was small, and the land was giving so much without much effort. Naturally, people started exploring, just sitting silently doing nothing. It was a natural phenomenon to happen. So many people were without any work. That's why so many people became monks, and there was no trouble, no problem. Otherwise, for so many monks, you have to give food, you have to give clothes, you have to give shelter, and they don't work. But there was no problem. People had enough to eat, and they could give enough. Millions of monks roamed around the country, and all that they were doing was one thing. Never in the history of man so many people were trying to sit silently and just be absolutely quiet. Not even a stir, not even a little breeze. And they attained it. And that's why I suggest each university should have an institute for meditation, arrange the right climate, the right atmosphere, beautiful garden, Zen type cottages, ponds, trees, and Zen type small meditation rooms where every student, before he comes out of university, brings the quality of meditation with him. Once we can help people to be deprogrammed and leave them just clean slates, and secondly, if we can help them to enjoy this cleanliness so that they never clutter it again, we have prepared the foundation for a new humanity, for a new world without boundaries, without nations, without cults, creeds, religions. Just one vast commune surrounding the whole world.